Okay, good morning. My name is Dr. Nelson Garayas, and this is a quick video for MED230 Section 4 DAX, which meets on Monday mornings from 9 a.m. through 1:30. Just wanted to show you some things so that when you, despite we had no class today, at least you can get caught up a little bit. Now, I also put some notes in. Please look at the notes. By all means, don't rely on the notes. The notes are to help you read this text, Medical Law and Ethics, by Bonnie F. Fremgen. Now, the syllabus, please open it. Please look at it. Actually print out bits and pieces of it, because it is simply the law. It is everything that we're going to be doing in the next 9 to 10 weeks. And I'm going to be talking about the time frame as well. This is a hybrid class, which means that you're going to have to do some online stuff and on-the-ground stuff to get full credit. So right now, today's attendance for Monday, October 10th, 2016, will be based solely on did you do any of the discussions, and that is by this Friday, October 14th, 2016. Now, on the very first page is important because you have my name and you have my number, okay, and my email. All of that connects into my phone, and I look at that incessantly, okay, religiously. So please stay in constant communication. Don't go missing. That's the worst thing that you could do, is to go missing and not answer my calls or not call me. If you are to be out, just give me a call, okay? We're all adults. Whether you want to come to class or not, it's your dime, but I need to know. And if I don't know, then I have to do assumptions. And then I have to call you, okay? Please, please don't waste your time and don't waste mine. What is this course? Well, it's going to talk about medical jurisprudence and medical ethics, and we're going to talk about shortly the difference between actual jurisprudence, which is the law or the lower standard, and medical ethics, which is the higher standard, the thing that you should do. Okay, here are your course objectives, and you will never have to ask what's going to be on a final exam, right? You can just look at the course objectives. Again, this is your text. And again, your syllabus has everything you wanted to know about your class, but we're afraid to ask. The very important part is page 4 and 5 of your syllabus, and that shows all the topics that we're going to be doing. So this week, Medical Law and Ethics, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and going into Legal Systems, which is Chapter 2. Okay? Now, how does the grading work? Every week is worth 10%. Your final exam is worth 10%. So the best way to look at it is like this. Every week you're going to probably have a quiz. Every week you're definitely going to have a discussion and some homework. The combination of that will be averaged, and then that'll be 10% of your grade. So each week counts for 10%, except for weeks 5 and weeks 10. Week 5 you have a cumulative written examination, and week 10 you have a final cumulative written examination. So week 5, everything up to week 5 is fair game. And in week 10, that's everything, the entire course, whether we went over it or not. If it is on the syllabus, which is right here, then, but we should get to it, because everything kind of ends up by week 8. I've never had a class that we didn't get to everything. All right? So that is pretty much the class in total. Now, let's go right into the chapter. Okay, let's go to Chapter 1. Now, the best way to do it is look at the objectives and look at my study guide. That will tell you what's important. Reading the textbook from beginning to end is like reading an encyclopedia. It's the wrong way to go, and you won't get anything out of it. The best is to look at the objectives and then ask yourself, how am I to ask questions? All your examinations and quizzes, your quizzes could also be online. By the way, your quizzes are unannounced. If there was a lecture, then it's fair game. So of course there's going to be already a quiz. I'll be posting it online later on this afternoon, and it'll be on this chapter 1, and it could contain any and all these terms. Now typically quizzes are usually 10 items, multiple choice. Midterms and finals are usually anywhere from 50 to 70 items, multiple choice. Also, you will also notice cases. If you look at the beginning of each chapter, there are cases. Know these cases. Answer these questions here below. Sometimes these cases are your discussions. Sometimes they're homework. Either way, you got to know the cases, because that's how people study law. All right. So that's pretty much your class and the breakdown. Now I'm gonna show you real quick on how you are to go about tackling one of these objectives. So let's look at the first objective. Define the glossary of terms. Okay, fine. You got all these terms and you see they're in blue. You click on them and it brings you right to the page, to the dictionary page, and you can look that up. That's one way to do it. Another way, flashcards. Another way, you can take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, fold it in half, have the term on one side and definition on the other. That's another way to do it. Now, the similarities and differences between law and ethics. So let's tackle that as an example. So you have here, why study law? Okay? All right. Medical law, medical ethics. So right now you have something that defines what all the laws are and what ethics are. So you ask yourself, once you read these two parts, ask yourself what's the same and what's different. So let's look at laws. Laws are rules and actions prescribed by an authority, which is the federal government and the court systems. And they're legally binding and they have legal force. Meaning to say is, you break these things, you pretty much go to jail. There are consequences. Now, when we look at ethics, is a branch of philosophy related to morals, principles, and moral judgments. A more practical explanation of ethics is things that what you ought to do, not what you should do. So, medical law is known as the lower standard because it's what you have to do. I have to not murder people. Okay? But ethics is the higher standard. You never go to jail for that stuff. But in the medical world, you can be let go, you can be fired for it. Alright? Now, as you're reading, or as you're scanning through things, right, you could see there's the terms start popping up. So the best way to do it is, another way is, you match these terms up to the objective. So you see, you have another term there, morality, medical ethics, that's within the ethics. It's a little bit different of just plain ethics, right? And it matches up to, see in the front, learning objective number 2, which is describe the similarities and differences. Okay, that's my little tidbit. Please, please, please look on Moodle daily. Do work daily, because doing all of this stuff at the last moment, and again, my quizzes are unannounced. Please come to class on time. If you're leaving early, I need to be informed, because sometimes quizzes are at 9 a.m., sometimes the quizzes are at 12:30. Okay? You got to be prepared. Alright? I'll see you guys next week. That's October 17th on Monday, 9 a.m. And yes, definitely, there'll be an on-the-ground quiz. But look at your Moodle now. Well, look at your Moodle in a couple of hours or so, and there should be a online quiz. Alright? Guys, good luck. Thank you for choosing my class, and talk to you soon.